there was a particularly absurd expedition into space yesterday by a bunch of ladies. There was a ladies' trip to the atmospheric barrier yesterday. Again, it sort of just puts a cap on how absurd all of America is right now. And it's like on the same day we have headlines about foreigners raping corpses on the New York subway, and Katy Perry, idiot pop star, most famous for having big tits, is flying into space. And it's like, this is all so stupid. Something has gone horribly wrong here. And it's almost cartoonish, the fact that you've got people going into space and it being covered as if it's the moon landing, and it's dumbass sex symbols like Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos's hideous plastic girlfriend. And it's just like, this is all so stupid. So I wasn't really paying attention to it. But then I saw the video of the capsule being opened for the first time, and I got some questions. The re-entry pod they used looks totally unmarked. No scorch marks, no nothing on it. Looks totally new. And then Jeff Bezos goes to open the hatch using a tool, using some sort of specially designed tool to open this sealed door. And it doesn't go as planned.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
So he's got the tool, he puts on the hatch, he's about to, and it just pops right open.
He didn't really close it again.
So he didn't actually use the tool, and you can hear him say like, oh, we didn't actually need it. So what was keeping it shut before? Like, that was weird. That was very weird. That was a mess up. Conspiracy theorists claimed Blue Origin mission was fake, as skeptics claim rocket launch with Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez had the worst CGI. I don't know if it was CGI, but I know that door is not a real door for a space capsule. Anybody who's studied space travel at all or the history of space exploration at all could tell you immediately why this wasn't a real capsule. First of all, obviously, he goes to open it with the tool and it just flops open. It just flops right open like it's made of cardboard. That's a little weird. Again, this shuttle totally unmarked. Like there's not a single thing on this lily white pod. It's a little suspicious in the first place. The size of these windows, how could that survive re-entry? That's kind of suspicious. But also, who can tell me the most deadly accident in the history of space exploration? Because I believe it was on Apollo, may have been Apollo 1 or 2, but several astronauts burned to death inside of a training capsule. And ever since then, the doors of capsules open outwards. They used to have the capsule door open inward. What they found was that under pressurized situations, that meant you couldn't open the door. So the fire inside raged and the astronauts were trapped, could not open the door because it was supposed to open inward and it couldn't because of the pressure inside. And so from then on, the capsule doors for every space rocket out there, they open outwards. And they even have explosive bolts in the case of an emergency to blast the door outward. But out of basic space safety, I mean, this was very early on in the space race. It was a huge tragedy and inspired the NASA slogan, failure is not an option. And they put in a bunch of controls to make sure nothing like that happened ever again, including the fact that the capsule doors open outward. Every other manned rocket has doors that open outward in the capsule. The SpaceX, any Chinese and Russian mission, they all have doors that open outwards. It is a basic component of space safety. So why did that door open inward? And why did you not need to use the tool to open it? Why did it flop open like it was made out of cardboard? What are those windows made out of if it's supposed to survive re-entry? It was Apollo 1. Yeah, it was Apollo 1. 3 guys burned to death inside because they pumped the capsules up full of oxygen, which is, of course, extremely flammable. And they burned to death. It was absolutely tragic. It was very early on. And since then, no space capsules have doors that open inwards, except for that one, apparently. Except for the one carrying the singer of I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It. Folks, the clip you just watched is from the American Journal, streaming at InfoWars on X each and every weekday morning, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And you can support us by going to thealexjonesstore.com.